Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Have you heard about the great church of Protobelt Alistair? Well, if you have not, I will tell you. It is the only way to build Alistair, and I can guarantee you there is no better way, except for maybe Righteous Glory enchant. But the Protobelt Alistair enchant, I can tell you, is far more fun and far more entertaining. I'm going to show you how it works, but first, have thou heard of G2A and how they doth sponsor my channel? Well, there is a description link below. I don't know what I'm doing. Guys, going to be a live replay commentary. I'm going to commentate over some live gameplay, talking a little bit about tips and tricks of how to play Alistair in certain matchups, what you need to be looking for when playing Alistair, plus the beautiful use of Protobelt Alistair. Let's get straight into it. Okay, guys, so loading in, I'm playing with Stuart, who you might know as It's Stuart. I'm going to link his stuff being his social channels and his YouTube and Twitch in the description below. I'm sure most of you know him. I do play with him relatively regularly. And he was playing, obviously, his most played and probably favorite champion in the meta right now, which is Xayah. And I was playing Alistair. So I went for a Xayah Alistair game here. And again, I'm a big fan of Alistair right now. I think he's probably the strongest support in the meta. And I think I love playing him with Protobelt because it gives you that extra ability to engage and kind of catch people off guard. So we're playing into a Jinx Lulu matchup as Alistair. And so like abusing this matchup is difficult because it has like certain breakpoints that you're looking for in terms of actually finding a headbutt pulverize combo. Now, we help Wukong very early on. I was just thinking about warding over the wall, but I didn't bother. We have to help Wukong pull blue. I don't know many Wukongs that start blue buff, but maybe I'd start blue buff as a Wukong if I'm looking to avoid getting in a fight with the enemy. Definitely don't watch me pulverize and miss the pulverize on a standard blue buff because I did it too early. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we'll get that mana back before it's relevant anyway. Now, Stuart takes the super risky way into lane. I take the safe way into lane here. Taking that way through the river can be a little risky because if the enemy catches you off, they can zone you away from the minions a little bit more readily, and you can often like miss CS. So I always find it's a little bit safer, unless you're going as a duo or you have a really strong level 1, to go through the back of the jungle and head back out towards the first tier turret. So in this matchup, okay, there are a couple of things that you're going to want to look for. When you're fighting up against Jinx Lulu or any kind of Lulu lane, there are a couple of things that you're going to want to look for when you're looking for an engage, okay? The first of which is, has she used her shield? The second of which is, has she used her Whimsy? So, Whimsy is the polymorph, but she can also use it to speed Jinx's attack speed up. And the visual indicator for that is that you see Pix jump onto Jinx. She speeds up. She also increases her attack speed. And if she's got Summon Airy, she may also get a shield. Obviously, the simple thing to look out for with the shield is obviously you're just looking for a shield to appear on Jinx that is larger than a Summon Airy shield. The reason I have to wait for those two specific abilities to be used is that if I engage when shield is up or Whimsy is up, I could get polymorphed, which means I can do nothing, or the enemy Jinx is going to take a significantly reduced portion of damage. So I'll always be looking in this lane for when Whimsy and shield has been used. And I just saw that Whimsy and shield got used simultaneously there, and that's why I looked for an engage straight onto the Jinx. Now, Stuart got stunned, but we actually forced out the heal and the flash from the enemy duo. And that was because I looked for the heal, for the Whimsy and the shield to get used. Now, Stuart took a little bit too much minion damage there, but I think he was looking to bait in for the feathers. But again, this is a really good start for our lane. We saw Whimsy, we saw shield. I looked for an opportunity to go for a headbutt pulverize combo because you should always look for those mini breakpoints between when the enemy Lulu or whatever the enchanter is have used their main abilities. This doesn't just apply for Lulu, by the way. This applies for pretty much any enchanter that you're playing up against. For Janna, if she's used her tornado, but more specifically, if she's used her shield, I will look for an engage point after the shield has been used. If I'm playing into a Nami, I'll look for her to have used her heal already, or look for her to use her Tycaller's Blessing, and then look for the engage. There are lots of little things that you want to look for when dealing with enchanters as an Alistair. And again, for Lulu, it's like, has she used her Whimsy? Has she used her shield? That is her using her shield just there. And I actually flash engage on the Jinx because I know that she doesn't have the her flash available. So I just went for a flash Polv combo on Jinx. Like, just immediately, like, that's what I was looking for this entire laning phase. Like, once Jinx loses her flash, she is a super, super vulnerable target to any kind of Alistar engage. So she steps up, and they were being very careful. They were being very, very, very careful to avoid the headbutt pulverize combo. So I knew that it was going to be much easier for me to just look straight up for a flash Polv. So either Polv then flash, or just flash then Polv, and then knock the Jinx up. She doesn't have flash, so she can't get away, and headbutt her back towards the Xayah. She was on such low HP, it was a very easy thing for me to do. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Church of the Protobelt Alistar can begin. So we are about to start using our Protobelt to be a little bit more aggressive. It gives us an extra dash. It allows us to look for a headbutt pulverized combo a little bit more effectively. I love Protobelt Alistar. I think it's really, really strong. Now, here, they were just a little bit out of range. I was looking for it, and I just basically walked straight into a trap. You know, bit of an oopsie daisy from me. Bit of an oopsie daisy. But that's kind of the ethos of what I want to do. Now, Jinx stepped up a little bit too hard again. I don't really mind just like walking away from this, because I did a load of damage, and you can see Stu just like throwing some basic attacks in. So I did a load of damage. I had my aftershock, which meant that I was going to take less damage from looking for that combo. And now we look at this fight. Now, Amumu and Gragas have started it. Gragas has rotated from Baron lane. Now, Camille is just straight up split pushing. I go for the big engage, like huge engage, onto the Gragas, because I know that their entire team is split. Like the Jinx Lulu at top, the Orianna's mid, she missed her shockwave, the Mumu's tanking the bloody dragon forever, and I actually get the aftershock proc just right at the end there to ensure that I end up surviving on like 1 HP. We survive on like 1 HP. That's insane. Absolutely insane. And that was a 4 versus 5. And part of that was just one straight up, because Stuart zoned out 2 members of the bot lane to the top. Orianna was late to react, and Camille is now going to get first tower of the game for free, given that we just won a 4 versus 5 at the Dragon, which is absolutely nutty, by the way. That's an incredible start for our team. And a lot of it was facilitated because me and Stuart had a lot of bot pressure just by finding that little edge in the engages. Now, I have my Protobelt available. I'm waiting in the brushes to make a play happen. I'm just going to wait for Stuart to like come back to lane before I do anything. Like, I don't think Lulu knows that I'm here, so I'm looking for like a big Protobelt engage onto this bot lane to try and find, you know, like a 2v2 kill again. So I'm just waiting for Lulu to get in, and then Protobelt knock up. There we go. Huge range knock up. And it doesn't matter that we don't get to go any further than this, because I've already done enough damage to like force these guys out of the fight again. Stuart does take a little bit too much, I think, but we have tower dive potential with the Alistar ultimate. That's what the Protobelt's good for, just giving you that little extra range to surprise the engage. And immediately I jump in, get a double knock up, pop my ultimate, Bob's your uncle. Straight on to the Jinx. I want to tank the tower for as long as possible so that Stuart doesn't have to, which is why you see me tanking the tower for a little while. And then suddenly, of course, as soon as we can, knock the Lulu up. She flashes away. I'm going to flash a little bit further forward to ensure that I get the stun on her. And it is a double kill, baby. Straight onto the bot lane, because, again, we have that pressure now that we have the Alistar, we have the Xayah that are super far ahead, and Lulu and Jinx just can't contest with us. And all of this came off the back of just finding that one engage in the lane that allowed us to get some kills. Basically off the back of a headbutt pulverized combo from when we knew they didn't have the skills to be able to counteract it. Now, first item for me for Alistar is usually always Zeke's Herald. There is a second item that I like to go for, which is called Deadman's Plate. You might see it on a lot of top Alistar builds. Some Alistars like to go for that first because it gives them the extra little bit of pressure when it comes to finding an engage. But I like to go for it second because I really like Zeke's as my first item. Have another engage here. You can see that I'm just kind of looking for it, but this would be like I think a pretty silly place to engage without Xayah. So I'm just chilling. We're just hard chilling right now. We're not looking for anything absolutely major. We're just waiting for Stuart to farm the top lane before we actually look for any big engages. And I'm just going to start putting some wards down in the enemy jungle. You can see again that I'm just looking for any kind of entrance to a fight. This might be a little bit too much for me, but I can see that my Wukong has gone kind of ham behind enemy lines. So I'm like basically trying to protect him in this scenario. Now I see Jinx here. I do actually end up getting caught up. I have to pop my ultimate just to buy myself some time to get out. Stuart is here. Now watch this, everyone. I'm out with the Protobelt. And Alistar, and then Gragas misses. He gets stunned up, and Stuart just ends up getting the kill. He gets 2 kills out of this as well, by the way. The ultimate was a little bit ambitious, but it doesn't matter. I end up dying, though, because I forgot that the rest of their team existed. But that Protobelt escape was pretty lit. I'm not going to lie. The Protobelt escape was pretty lit. Stuart does manage to get out relatively easily. We're going to reset. I'm not that bothered, though. I'm not that bothered about losing out on that engage. I knew that Gragas was trying to body slam me. He was trying to prevent me from like flashing over or whatever. But I was essentially just going to use that Protobelt to buy some distance between myself and the rest of the team. And it also meant that Gragas couldn't body slam me back into the team. He had to wait and try and body slam me or to stun me away. And he actually missed it in the end as well. So the Protobelt came in big in terms of getting me out of that fight too, which is pretty nice. And then I went back in and died because I'm really good at the game. But you know, that's just because I'm really good at the game. So I started doing the keys recall spam with this skin, and it was mainly to try and tilt the enemy. You guys can turn off your screens now if you want to. Even looking back on it makes me feel pretty sick. I can't believe this is a thing, by the way. I was just doing it because it kind of looks like you're moonwalking all over the place, and I was just trying to do it to tilt the enemies. So I was even just like spam recall walking over towards the Annie, who ended up dying. But I'm hanging around the Camille just in case she tries to push any further. But I'm mostly trying to do this like recall thing to just see if I can tilt the enemy into engaging in a bad scenario. You've always got to tilt the enemy into engaging in a bad scenario. I'm not going to lie. So you can see that we've got Infernal Drake up. They took a bad trade versus a very fed Xayah. We get the free Infernal Drake, and now I'm just waiting for the Orianna. You can see here, but she gets back under her tower with relative ease, and there's not much problem. And now back to baiting them. Come on, guys, engage on me. You know you want to. You know you hate the recalling Alistar as much as I do. And I'm just like pure BM disrespecting them right now by just like spamming recall. I accidentally press heal, by the way. That was totally intended. But I'm just trying to like bait them into like coming into a fight or trying to stop me doing the recall so I can like flash Protobelt, engage them. I think it's working though. You know, I think it's working. So we have a lot of people just kind of like hanging around in mid lane. I am looking for an opportunity to Protobelt in, headbutt, and then pulverize, and then headbutt back. That's the ultimate engage that you want with Protobelt. You want to be able to Protobelt in, use your... So like this. You want to do this, and if I didn't headbutt the minion, it would have been brilliant. But I headbutt the minion. But that's what you're looking for. That gives you that little extra... That gives you that little bit of extra to be able to essentially... to be able to essentially just get an extra little engage off with the Alistar, which is what I did there. Oh, I hear my son again, just coming to give me a little bit of a surprise visit. Hello, Rupert. He's just chilling. So that little kind of like Protobelt pulverized headbutt combo is like another little facet of this, which makes it really good. And I think the reason you would choose this over, like, say, Glory is because it gives you the surprise engage. It gives you a little bit more maneuverability in terms of isolating a key target. So versus like a Jinx and an Orianna, I really like it because I can basically Protobelt headbutt Pulv or Protobelt Pulv headbutt, and it gives me just that little bit of extra instant engage that is a little bit more difficult to react to. And for Alistar, that's really important in my opinion. It just allows you to be a bit more aggressive in searching for the picks on the key targets in the team fights, which is what I like. I like about this build. I'm a big fan of it. I like Glory as well, like I said. I still think Locket and Redemption are good, but Protobelt Ali and solo queue especially, just like to be able to catch people out is awesome. So again here, I just do the same thing. Didn't need to, obviously, but I did it for fun. Just Protobelt, get into a position, use the headbutt, and it just gives you a little bit of positional advantage over your enemy. And that allows us to get the kill onto the Amumu. And obviously now we're looking in a situation where we are basically winning. Now, Gragas just basically... cast me away, so I wouldn't get the assist there, which is kind of sad, you know. Gragas, I don't really appreciate that. Me and Stu are a little overextended, just mainly because we don't really have the rest of the team here. I was supposed to go for the headbutt pulverized combo there, but it was all a bait. It was all a bait, and we get the kill onto the Lulu again, and it is easy enough now to try and push down these turrets to open up the inhibitors, which is the most important thing that we've got to do in the next few minutes. Just want to open up those inhibitors, get those inhibitors down so we can start pumping super minions in, because obviously we do have to worry a little bit about the Jinx. Like Jinx and Orianna, if we let this game go too long, they will scale up, and like 15 minutes, like if you have an evenish game, 15 minutes is where like the Jinx is going to really start to come online. So we don't have that much longer in this game where we have a major like scaling advantage. So again, like a bit of an engage opens up here, but nothing major. The Camille kind of baits in something from the Gragas. She actually goes in quite deep here. I get knocked away by the Gragas again. This was a little bit of a dumb engage because I really didn't. It really wasn't worth it for me to be there. But I decided to walk back a little bit and just try and stun up the Amumu, and it's worth it in the end. Like we get pretty much the engage that we needed. But yeah, the Camille went 1v5 for some reason. I probably should have just let the Camille die, if I'm honest with you. But like a true support, I'm here to support my teammates when they suicide into the enemy, and that's what my Camille wanted to do there. So I support her on that journey. Just wanted to support her in suiciding into the enemy. Now, luckily, my Xayah, Stuart, is a little bit further ahead than the Jinx still, so she still can't trade effectively even with the Lulu, and had to flash back into her own base. But we are kind of trolling a little bit. Just a little bit. Just trolling a little bit. And we really do want to be looking to end the game as soon as possible. We haven't actually cracked the base open yet, but luckily Annie just hex techs in, throws the Tibbers on top of Jinx's head, who doesn't have the flash. And that's one of the things that I actually quite like Annie for. I've actually started playing Annie more in the mid lane just because I just like that flash bear catch onto anybody that you want. If they don't have flash, it's very difficult for them to react. And we also pick up the Mountain Dragon. So with Jinx dead, this is now a good time for us to just like straight up push down mid. I have my Dead Man's Plate as well, which is going to give me a little bit of an extra edge in the engage. For some reason, Rupert's just gone behind the computer screen. Again, Camille went for a big engage here. I tried to go for the headbutt Polv combo, but I just knocked the Orianna away by mistake. Again, Gragas has been basically casking me every time I look to go for the engage with the Proto Belt, and now I'm just looking for an opportunity to get under tower and use my ultimate. So here looks like a good opportunity to just go in, use my ultimate, buy some time. Really, like, my main goal is not actually to get the kills. My main goal is just to open up the inhibitor, and that was enough. Like, the pressure that I created was enough. I get a double knock up onto the Jinx and the Lulu. I mean, the Jinx just instantly dies to the Annie, and then we end up winning the game. Lulu's not enough by herself to be able to stop this game going down, and we end up winning. With Protobelt Ali, I'm absolutely convinced this is the way forward, guys. I have a lot of games on my stream highlights from Protobelt Ali as well. I'll probably bring you a bit of a Protobelt Ali highlight, but I do believe Protobelt Ali is a very strong solo queue option when it comes to supports and giving you some more agency on this champion too, which I really like.